Hello, everybody. I'm Darius,
And I'm Raven. And
and
welcome to
welcome to
DNR
DNR
Unfiltered.
Unfiltered, period. So basically, we're always chopping it up. We're always talking about pop culture things, things that go on reality TV. So we decided we were going to get together and make a podcast where we can really put all of these thoughts and feelings into like a forum for people to view and like hopefully
Oh,
they
yeah.
can interact and we can just
If,
give our
if you
opinions. I mean,
enjoy pop culture, this is definitely the spot for you. We like to stay hip on the trends and we
mhm.
just keep it authentic. Like, this is what we do. We're comfortable and we're here to just give you something to talk about.
Definitely bringing urban journalism to the net.
To the
Period.
forefront. Absolutely. Okay.
So
Did you
today
want?
we're gonna be talking about Summer's House, Martha's Vineyard, and then we're gonna segue into Real Housewives of New Jersey, followed by Real Housewives of Dubai, and then for the duality of it all, segue into Baddies Caribbean because we gotta try to just cover it all.
We can't talk about
So,
culture without talking about Baddies Caribbean. Like it's just we can't do it.
period.
Yeah.
Okay, so thoughts on Summer's House, Martha's Vineyard. Thoughts?
I think my initial thought that comes is that I just enjoyed every single part of it. There were obviously some parts where it was like, okay, this person may be over exaggerating or this person is wrong, but for the most part, I loved it. I love seeing young Black people, come together and just be relatable and have fun and kick it. And I kind of know your thoughts, but obviously I want them to understand and hear more.
Yeah, obviously, like Summer's House, Martha's Vineyard was a really good addition to Bravo. Like honestly, it kind of gave a little bit of like a younger flair,
Yes, for sure.
like what we were used to on like the Housewives and stuff like that, but also showing you like Black excellence in like a new way, like showing how they're living out on the East Coast, like vacationing,
Yeah.
thriving, like
Doing
all
all
the things.
that.
Like
And
they got
they're
a little bit of the
really
Divine
young while
Nine,
doing it.
um,
They're
really young while doing it, literally like in their 30s, late 20s, like just doing it, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I
I
I
don't know.
don't know.
News came out.
You go ahead.
News came out that they were going to cancel Martha's Vineyard. So how do you feel about that?
Oh my God, I'm devastated. I'm devastated. I really am because I just feel like we have one show that we really like to watch and we actually look forward to it and we can relate to them when they're out having fun with their friends and just like the lingo and everything that really came with it. I really enjoyed it
And
and
this
I
is the
did
first
not
one we both
see it
said we
ending
just
anytime
loved.
soon. Yes, I liked all the cast members, honestly, with all their different personalities. I feel like it was very relatable and I enjoyed tuning into it. So to hear that it was paused,
Very
canceled, whatever
relatable.
you want to call it, I'm gonna take it as canceled because like what? We need
Cancel.
that. Don't do
Yes.
that.
I think
S
that this is kind of like a reoccurring theme too with Bravo and like not even just Bravo. I'm gonna talk about like TV
All
in
of
general,
them.
scripted,
It's like they're
unscripted,
not read.
whatever.
Do they not hear the
They don't
messages
care
and
no
the
more.
tweets and stuff?
2020, they put a lot of money into projects and stuff like that
Mhm.
because the things that were going on in the world. Now they're like, okay, we don't care about that anymore. Even though these shows, I feel like it's no way that shows like Real Housewives of Orange County are doing better than these.
No
Like,
way.
there's just no
I haven't
way.
watched Orange County in never. I've tried to sit down and watch it and
Losers.
have not. Loser. That's what it
It's
screams.
just too
And
much.
it
And
is what it is. If I had to say, do
just
you
like
have any cast members that you like more than others this season? Like who stood out to you, who
on Martha's
didn't?
Vineyard.
Martha's Vineyard.
Okay, so this season, I really liked Noelle.
I love
She was
seeing Noel
definitely
too.
given like realness, like
Also, being in St. Louis from St. Louis, we have to shout out Noel because she
Noelle,
had these as her
hairstyle.
stomping grounds for a very long time. So
Definitely,
off
definitely.
rip, fan
We always
favorite.
gonna give people that didn't been through the town, in the town, from the town, whatever the case may
We
be,
gonna
their flowers, because we
absolutely.
know
We
firsthand.
know you did that. And my alma
Yeah, you
mater,
did
she
that. You
was
did
at
that. You
Finland
made it out the
Wood.
mud.
Yeah, for sure.
So I really like Noelle. Um, I've always liked Jasmine. I do still see her as the matriarch of the
I
group.
like
Like
Jasmine too. Yeah,
I
for
do like
sure.
Jasmine.
We're not gonna switch up on Jasmine.
I really like Nick because what I can give Nick is that he's always been honest, upfront. Like he even said on that reunion,
Yeah.
he felt like he embarrassed Tasia. He like
Yeah,
I just think that he's a very like forthcoming person and
for
like
sure.
I think he keeps it real and I like
He keeps it real, and that's what reality
yeah.
TV is. If you're not gonna come and be real and just talk about the shit for what it is, then don't come.
Other than that, I love everybody on that show for different reasons. You know, Bria,
Mm-hmm.
that's my Gemini twin,
Bria and
but Bria
Preston.
cuts up.
Bria,
Like Bria
motherfucking
cuts up.
Preston. For
And
sure.
Preston and thongs, I love it all. Like it's really my
Preston
cup
and
of
the
tea.
motherfucking thong.
Thongs just got them cheeks
I'm gonna have to
out.
cut that off. Preston and them
Them
thongs, because
thongs
you
got them
know,
cheeks out.
double cheeked up.
Got them cheeks out. But I really feel like I wanted to give Martha's Vineyard their flowers because like that is a
Yeah,
really
for sure.
great show. I feel like that Bravo would be doing everybody a disjustice by taking
I
that
got
off
you
the air.
back. Hmm.
I genuinely feel like there are many shows that could go on the network before Martha's Vineyard,
Martha's Vineyard. This
including
was
the
new,
original Summer
guys.
House.
This was fresh.
So
This was hot. It was real. We got to see a little bit of everything, and it would be, I second that. It would be
and
a
it was
huge
definitely for the
mistake if Bravo let
culture.
it go.
Definitely. It would be a very big disservice. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much our thoughts on Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Like we feel
Hmm.
like, you know,
Bring
they
it
deserve to
back.
be on air. This is like good quality reality
Also,
TV.
I'm
They're
gonna
showing our
also
real
throw in
lives.
there that Summer House has been thriving for I don't know how long, and it didn't give me half as much
So
entertainment.
boring.
And I'm
Like
gonna say
literally.
that if we're being unfiltered, Martha's Vineyard, bring it
It's
back.
so
I'm
much
not
better.
playing.
That's why I said
So
it's so many shows they could get rid of before Martha's Vineyard, including the regular Summer House. They can get rid of some of
absolutely.
the Housewives franchises before Martha's
If we're
Vineyard
gonna
at
be
this point.
honest,
Like it's like
if we're gonna keep
no,
it a bean.
let's just not even play about that.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So
segueing
yeah, let's wrap.
into Real Housewives of New Jersey, we bring it to the
Real Housewives of New
Housewives.
Jersey. Yes.
New
I
Jersey has
mean,
been on Sundays, so it's something that's current. It's something that we need to talk about. You know, Real Housewives of New Jersey has been around for a minute since we were probably like in middle school,
yeah.
like Teresa been flipping tables, chasing bitches to country clubs, chasing
Yeah.
girls to country clubs,
Chasing the
and
girls to
other
country clubs. And
stuff.
I actually like that you repeated that, because I feel like oftentimes when people watch reality TV, they expect that type of behavior maybe on Bad Girls Club or Baddies. No, this is Real Housewives. These women
And it's a nice
are
reminder. We're all
throwing
like
down
this.
in country clubs.
Yeah.
They do not care. You know
Don't
what I'm saying?
care.
These are some hood rat hoochies.
These are
I
some
mean, they
Italian
got some
mobster
money.
ladies. Like they
These
not
are
playing. It's
hood
giving
rat
mob
hoochies with
wives.
money. It's giving mob
So
wives.
starting with this recent episode of New House or Real Housewives of New Jersey, not New Housewives of Real Jersey.
Can
What
I
the
cut you
fuck?
off and ask which season is this? Because this is new, right? This just started.
This
We're
is
on
season
episode
14.
3.
Season
Okay, season
14,
14.
episode
Okay.
5.
Okay.
So it kind of starts off about Dolores talking about her life with Paulie
Yes, which I think
and
is very fascinating.
how she has the new house in the new life in the townhome, the very nice
Yes.
townhome, but it's Paulie's
Townhome, very nice, by the
old
way. We're
house.
not just talking about typical townhome. This is like next level
Typical, like
luxury.
it looks like it should be downtown Manhattan, like near
Downtown
the river in New
Manhattan for
Jersey. Like
sure.
you can tell they're right across the
And
Hudson
if
River
possible,
type of.
we'll try to
Yeah,
insert a clip for the people to understand the magnitude of this townhouse. It's nice. It's not,
it's
we're not
beautiful. It's not
exaggerating
your average
here.
townhouse. It's probably the nicest one you
Yeah,
could probably
Dolores
ever
is having it
imagine.
her way for sure.
She talks about her old house where her kids still reside. Her ex built that. Dolores is just, to me, I'm gonna call Dolores again. I'm gonna say this now. One of the quintessential housewives. I think that
Yeah.
Dolores is put up. She is a housewife. She
There are
is
very
definitely
few
well
of
taken care of.
them.
She stands on business.
Yeah.
Very few of them that are put up like her.
There are very few that can go in that quintessential housewife category, but Dolores definitely can. What I think I admire about Dolores is that I feel like she always stays true to herself in every situation, even though, like, even her disputes or whatever, whether it's in front of Frankie or whether it's in
Mhm.
front of what's the new fiance's name? Or
Paulie.
her Polly.
Paulie.
I feel like she always is authentic to herself, and I feel like that will go to show that it will take you very far. Like she don't try and fake in front of her kids. She don't try and fake, like it is what it
Mhm.
is.
I do agree with you. I feel like, again, quintessential. You really don't have to do too much. Your life really speaks for itself. Everything you've
It
set up
does.
the right way. You make
Her
these men
kids are
stand on business.
successful. We're talking
Mhm.
lawyers. Yeah.
The men are
Doctors.
paying for any excursion, adventure, the
And I would
houses to
like
be
to mention
remodeled. They're
too,
being
since we're
paid
talking
for.
about men are paying, and Real Housewives of New Jersey franchise specifically, I noticed
Mhm.
that their husbands are very active
Take
in the
care of it.
show, and they are
Mhm.
not afraid of taking care of their families, which I think is to be admired.
Other than Atlanta, this is the most active I've seen husbands. They
I'm talking about coming to
take care of
reunions,
shit.
sitting on
There's
that
no
chair in the
like
back,
disputes.
chiming in. The
Oh, and getting
Real
into it if
Housewives
need
of
be.
Potomac ladies have to sit out on this segment. It
But
wouldn't work.
Juan
Yeah.
and Robin, you never had it. I'm sorry. Next question,
Oh gosh.
Tamika.
Okay, so let's dive back because
So
we're
moving on.
really back to the
Rachel.
episode.
Okay, so I thought it was very interesting that Rachel met Melissa through their children. Their children being
Yes.
friends. Their children were friends. Then they met each other. That it kind of makes sense because even when Rachel comes on with Melissa, it seems like she kind of is just bringing on this girl randomly. Like
We don't know who
you
she
was
is.
never
No
there in the
context,
rest
no
of them
nothing.
seasons.
Did y'all go to
You've never
school
been brought on before.
together or
We've never seen you in a scene. You
mm-mm.
don't know Melissa. So that was very
Introduce
clear
us
to
to
me, and
her
it kind of
first?
makes a lot of more sense to me
Yeah.
that Rachel was brought on through them having mutual kids relationships
Yeah.
type of shit.
For sure.
Um, so moving on to the next topic, Danielle and her brother and her dad, that whole relationship. What do you think about that though?
Okay. So
A lot to
my
unpack.
my topics on that are that I understand that parents can be really hard to deal with. And sometimes each person's relationship with their parent is not something that can always be compared to somebody else. So
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, you may have a valid point there
It's
with your dad.
individual, yeah.
But on the last season, she kind of foreshadows this relationship with her brother and that it's not healthy and that it's over something
Hmm.
like, social media related. I
Hmm.
don't know. But I feel like when you are falling out with these people who are so close to you and you're
Hmm.
not willing to tell us why and you're on reality TV, it
Right.
can kind of be kind of strange. I do
Strange.
second Melissa's thoughts on being more open to reconciling that relationship, because
Because she's like, I wish I had a dad here to do that
she
with.
wishes she had her father here to do that. And me personally, I made sure to make a note on this is that once you've lost a parent, I personally have lost my dad. I know you lost your
Mhm.
dad. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can understand why she will want her to put her pride to the side a little bit. And
And
just
that's,
like it, whatever
hmm
it is, honestly, 9 times out of 10, it's probably not that deep. And if you're not going to
you can
share
work
us the
through it.
details, then I'm going to assume it's not that deep. So, and I mean, as a parent and as a mother, I feel like she should kind of understand where Melissa's coming from. But I don't
I
know.
definitely think so too. So my thoughts on that was I do feel like at a certain point, Danielle needs to put her guard down because you do have a dad and a mom here to still like
Be
do that
there.
with. Like a lot of us
Yeah,
don't have dads
for
here
sure.
to even have arguments with or whatever the case may be. So the fact that
Yeah.
she actually is privileged enough to even fight with her dad, like it's like I'm kind of with Melissa on that. Like I know this seems like a big deal, but like try to work through it. I couldn't
Try.
even
Just, I
imagine
mean,
going
like,
more than one day or one week with beefing with like family members who are close to you because like life really is that
it's
short. You know
really
what I mean?
short.
So
And
it's like
when it comes down to it and some stuff, your backer is really backed up against the wall and some stuff is
a
going on.
wall.
Family are the only people who will show
You have
up for
left.
you. You can
And there
think you
will
have
be
all the
close
friends
friends
in
who
the
are like
world.
family, but it's just a few of them. And it's a few and they count as your family. So it's just like still family is the only thing you can
Mhm.
really count on when you get in those
Yeah,
type
I
of
feel like every time I've been
situations.
in a really tough situations, my friends ain't been there. I mean, like me and
It's
you,
the
we're past
family,
friendship, like we're kind of like we cousins at this point. We brother
like
sister.
siblings. Yeah.
you know but it's like, yeah, you think that all these people will be there for you, and this is kind of segments, and now we done kind of got far away from Danielle and her situation
No, but this is like
specifically.
still like
But
leading back to it though.
yeah, family really will be the only ones who are there for you at the end of the day. So whatever it is that you and your dad are disagreeing on, or even you and your brother, it's hard to watch. And I know we'll get more into this later with Teresa and Melissa
Because I
and
think it
Joe.
will get
That's
deeper.
kind of this same
Yeah.
situation.
So moving forward, here was my
Yeah.
thoughts about how Real Housewives of New Jersey can move forward. New Real
Hmm.
Housewives of New Jersey cast on Bravo,
Yeah.
main show. Real
A
Housewives of New
refresh.
Jersey 15, new cast, new cast.
Hmm.
And even if they keep like a few of the ones that might be on there, I don't personally actually think they should. I don't really care for too many of
I'm
them
gonna mention
that bad.
two people's names who honestly who I feel like need to be talked about when revamping. Margaret. I'm tired of Margaret's storyline.
Bye.
I can't pretend anymore. Margaret, you're not giving us anything entertaining, and I'm not even saying this. But if Margaret sees this, I want Margaret to know you have
This is how
got
I
to
feel,
freshen
Margaret.
it up. If you're not gonna freshen it up, we need to see something different. I'm not,
No,
look, it's
seriously.
too much. I don't, I'm not fascinated. I don't like how she tried to jump down Jim Fessler's throat because Jen
Hmm.
would not be, when she told her, look,
Her
I'm not your
soldier.
soldier. I'm not
Literally,
your
yeah.
soldier. If I want to have a conversation, I can have a conversation. Margaret has got to get a new storyline or I want you gone.
Oh, I know. And my thing is, even with the new storyline, Margaret, I'm sorry, I still want you
What's
gone.
the
But
storyline? She doesn't
I,
have one. She
I
really
want you
doesn't.
gone.
It's not
Don't let
there.
her. Another one, Rachel Fuda, you can probably go. I don't care for you.
Rachel Fuda.
I don't
I'm gonna
care.
say that I think my biggest frustration with Rachel Fuda this season is that I think she wants. I like that actually. I will say this. I like that they showed us more into her life because
She wants to be
we
the
got
new
to see
Teresa and
inside
Melissa,
her
though.
home. Her home is beautiful. We got to see
And
her
it
and her
is, yeah.
family dynamic. But when it comes to actually having something that makes me be like, oh, what does Rachel have going on? It's not really much
She's the
there.
new
And she's
Melissa.
intentionally getting mad at Teresa. She's like, oh, Teresa, you are saying my husband is the biggest in all of this county.
Right.
But we all know that this came from a statement that his ex-girlfriend put out. So it's not like Teresa just
Right.
came out of this out of the
She's saying
blue.
that for no
Like,
reason.
yeah, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that is very frustrating to me with Rachel Fuda. And I don't like that she started crying when Jen Fessler and they were talking. Jen's like, baby, we're grown. I got friends, honey.
Right.
Okay. Teresa wanted to speak to me. I'm speaking to Teresa. It's not ever that deep.
I would really, really, really like them to get rid of Rachel Fuda, Margaret Josephs. And honestly, at this point, I
Jackie's
honestly want them
redeeming
to just
herself a
do
little
it.
bit.
I want them to redo it all, but that is
Mhm.
okay. So the next thing I wanted to bring up was Melissa and Jennifer down. What
Yes,
did
we
you
need
think
to
about
talk
that?
about
I don't feel
Melissa
like they're
and
meant to be
Jennifer.
friends.
Do you even remember what this feud started from? Because I don't remember.
I think that Jennifer was calling
The
Joe a
cheating
bitch for
rumors.
and the cheating rumors with Melissa in the back of the car. So she's
Yeah,
been
yeah,
beefing with
yeah.
Joe and Melissa,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah. And we
So
know Joe is not afraid to beef with somebody.
women and
Joe
females
jumps in. He
especially.
wants all the smoke.
Woman and all. He does not care.
Women and all. He don't care. He just like Teresa.
Joe, if you watching this, just now we see you, boy.
We
We
see
see
you,
you.
Joe.
You
And
be
you know what? You
wonderful.
host that family down. And I'm gonna give you your
I will
tits.
say though, and I'm just gonna say this, Italians, them, they kind of remind me of our family members. The men in our family, they gonna go to work, they gonna hold it
They
down,
gonna go to
but they
work.
gonna beef
They
with
gonna
whoever
hold
about
it
whatever,
down.
and that's
They
just
gonna say
that.
what need to
Like
be said. It's so simple.
simple.
Yeah.
So moving forward with that, Jackie
Jen
and
and
Marge.
Melissa, though, I hate to distract you from Jen and
Oh yeah,
Melissa.
Jen and Melissa. Okay, so they I just don't think Jen and Melissa are meant to be friends. I don't think
They're
they really
not.
like each other. They're just not each
I
other's cup
agree.
of tea.
And it's
They've been
okay.
in each
Sometimes
other's face,
people are
and that's
not meant to
fine.
be friends.
Y'all been beefed out this whole time. Y'all are not meant to be friends, I promise you.
And it's okay. You guys aren't missing out on anything. Just save us all and let it go.
Let it go. Um, Jackie and Marge, I can tell what's going on there. That's
My
about the
notes
most
were
part.
Marge has nothing to talk about. That's straight up what I wrote. Marge has
Marge is
nothing to talk
trying
about.
to project everything about her
She's
own self onto Teresa.
projecting. I would like to talk about how they speaking. I did think one thing that Marge has is interesting, and I thought that it was when the fact that her ex-husband has passed away now, it is now
Uh-huh.
affecting her current marriage. And
It's a
she
new
talked
dynamic.
about one point in her segment where she said there's no handbook on how to, guide through marriage, and her
Hmm.
ex-husband doesn't even know. It's putting a strain on her marriage because her ex-husband or her husband does not know how to be there for her, grieving for
Right.
her
Yep.
lost lover. That's the only thing that I thought was interesting. But other than that, it's like if you need to take time away to get back to a point, but this pointless drama that you're bringing to Jackie about a book
Hmm.
and to Jen Fessler, we don't want to see it. We don't.
And Jackie was right when she said that Melissa and them was trying to like basically tell her how to feel
How to feel? I don't feel
currently.
upset about it.
And I just didn't really like that because it's like she's
I
entitled to move
feel
on from that.
they try to convince people how Teresa is such a bad guy, but I feel like Melissa's kind of one of those people who maybe even works an extra mile. When I've looked back on this season, the amount of times that the camera has caught her rolling her eyes when they walk in the door,
When
or
Teresa walks in
she's
specifically, yeah.
every time. And it's like you do these subtle actions, and it's like if I was to walk in a room, or they pick up on your behavior, so it's like you
Yeah.
can't really act like you don't understand why this beef occurs. And I mean, it goes so deep. This is family drama that I really can't even understand it. But you guys are putting your life out there for us to try to interpret. And it's like I don't see it. Like they go the extra mile to make each other look bad. And
It's actually sad to watch.
it's sad to watch. And it almost makes it hard to comment on because like at the end of the day, you guys are family. You should be there for each other, riding for each other. You've run like, rode this wave
Literally,
of Real
yeah.
Housewives of New Jersey for so long that at some point you guys have to bring it together and
Reconcile, yeah. And
reconcile
speaking
for
of
sure.
family, do you feel that Teresa and Jennifer set Danielle up when they allowed that stylist to talk about Danielle?
Hmm. For one, I think me personally, I would not like that to know that these
But
people
I
that
hated
I'm
that.
doing this thing with have went behind my back and have brought this person here to talk about me. They didn't call her and tell her this happened either. She found out from
Hmm.
somebody else. And yeah, I just think it's weird. I think it's shady. I think it is a setup. I think Jennifer knew exactly what the girl was going to say there.
Hmm.
She even prompted her to
I
bring
did
up the
too.
conversation. So I think it was a setup. I think she wanted to make Danielle look bad. And I think Danielle did good by standing 10 toes on what happened.
Definitely. In that situation, I
What do you
agree.
think?
Um, with Teresa and Jennifer, I do feel like that was calculated on both their parts. I do.
Yeah.
Because Teresa, that's your stylist that came and said that. That's not
Yeah.
nobody
So
else is
you
saying
knew her.
you
I'm sure
using
they even
Jennifer
probably
even.
spoke prior. And she probably told
Like
her
if we
she
gonna
was
be
coming.
honest, you then calculated all the pawns and you using Jennifer and stuff, and that's cool. I
But
love Teresa. I'm not even gonna
this is not, I
cap,
love Teresa too. There's no Teresa hate going on here. But I
but this
will
is
say,
what
this
it
is not the
is.
first time Teresa has done this because a few seasons back when they
Oh,
were
many
in that
times
boutique
now.
and they got into that fight and she was reaching into whispering into homegirl's ear, like,
Do
do
it,
it,
do it,
do
do it,
it. And
do it,
she
do it.
pulled
Yes.
Mark's ponytail. That is the same thing in a different form. Teresa has been known to kind of do those little
Hmm.
things. And, if that's how the queen gets her get back, then that's how she get her get back.
And Teresa,
But
to me, is definitely the matriarch of this Housewives franchise, though, because she's the same as like Lisa Vanderpump, Ramona Singer, them people, they will play the media in their way, no matter what
mhm,
it is. And that's what they've like gotten good at. But like,
absolutely.
I'm sorry, it always gets exposed. Like, we see what you're doing, Teresa. We do.
We see it,
I love
and
you, and it's no shade. I'm
well,
gonna say
it's
this now. It's
it's
no shade,
peaked.
Teresa.
It's
It
peaked.
is no shade, baby, because I do
Mm-mm.
love you. You are
Yeah.
my favorite on this.
But
Like you are, but
I
it is
think
what it
that's
is.
where a lot of the hate for her comes from is that
Uh-huh. That
you can't take her down, even
pulling
with
the puppet
Rachel
strings.
Fuda wanting to tell her you just are a prison junkie and you went to jail
Hmm.
for this. I'm gonna say this. Not many people can sit down in the feds and come
And come
out
back like
and
that.
provide for four girls by herself. Keep that big house. Keep the spot on Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Hmm.
Keep continuing
Keep the
to
show
grow.
going.
Keep
Literally,
it
yeah.
going. Like there's not many people who can do that. And all these
Teresa is
years
that girl.
later, she continues to look good. She continues to look fly. Her kids are a direct fruit of her labor. They're going to college. Her oldest daughter,
They're gonna
Gia,
prosper.
is a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And I can see why people would hate that.
And like on a genuine like note, like Teresa,
You gotta respect a tourist when you see one.
you
Because when
really
they
have to
come through,
respect a
they come
hustler.
through.
You just do.
You
Like
just
with Teresa,
do.
you have to respect a hustler. And like
Mhm.
if Melissa was that girl for real, when Teresa went to jail, Melissa could have kept going and that was her show with her friends. They
It's
stopped that
not.
shit for over a year to let Teresa come home from prison to film again. You're not
But
that
she's
girl.
saying, what did you do? You just were you made mistakes when you were an adult. Oh, you're just
And
an
haven't
old
grown.
hoe
And
who
I
went to
hated that.
prison.
Teresa has grown. I'm not gonna let them
Also,
say
let's
that.
talk about how Teresa have grown. At that dinner, if that was years ago, that table would have been
She'd have
on
ripped
Rachel's
Rachel's face
head.
off. She would have ripped her face apart. How about the fact that Teresa chased Danielle through that
Country club.
country club, beat her down
Chase
in the
it.
country club. She does
Danielle is
not
her
care.
name.
She
Yeah.
does not care.
Chased her down. Chased her
Yeah,
down.
she doesn't care.
Yep. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I feel like that is where I'm just gonna wrap it up at there. Teresa has proven to be a trailblazer, a one of a kind
Blazer.
housewife, quintessential housewife.
When's that girl?
Quintessential.
She's
I
up there
feel
though.
like
Like you have to
Shamar.
say, like she is really
Quintessential
up
housewife.
there. She's a quintessential housewife. She is really, really up there. Like Teresa,
Yes.
I'm sorry, and like she came home from jail and she's held that family down. Joe
Because
got
the husband
deported.
got deported. So I mean,
Husband
like
done, gone.
also,
So anyway,
another thing that I'm
child.
gonna mention about Real Housewives of New Jersey, and I feel like I should mention this just being young and in the dating culture. And I feel
Mhm.
like I'm not the only woman who feels like I struggle when it comes to dating. I feel like there's a lot to be learned about these Real Housewives of New Jersey women when it comes to them selecting the gentlemen that they choose to date and their husbands. These men are providers. They come
Every time.
through. Some of them, even though Joe Gorga, or not Joe Gorga, that's her brother, but even his name was Joe. It wasn't Gorga, but
Joe
her ex,
Giudice,
Teresa's
yeah, Joe
ex-husband,
Giudice.
Joe Giudice. When he got out, he got deported, but she's with Louis now. And when they were asking her questions about who's sending these kids to college, and she was saying she is, which I thought was like so amazing. And they asked her, is Louis
Mhm.
helping? And she said he is. You have to date people who like want to be there for you and help you and care for you. Same with Dolores. Dolores, I feel like she can be so loving and so caring and be there for her family because these men allow them to be in a space to
Allow
do
her to
that,
just be that.
allow them to just be
Yes.
them and take care of
Start her
their children.
businesses.
And
Do what she
Melissa,
wants to
like
do. Yeah, they allow her to
yeah,
be
and I
that.
really admire that about this season. I
So,
love it.
you know what I love about Teresa too, and this will be the last thing I think we should
I
talk
can wrap it
about
up after
New
you.
Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Even before she got with Demi
Okay.
and Louis, Teresa, if you look at
Mm-hmm.
season 11 or season 10, it's one of those of New Jersey. She was house hunting
Mm-hmm.
for herself after that house of Joe, and she was finding beautiful houses on her own.
Beautiful homes.
She's her own boss.
Yes.
She is.
She's her own boss. And I feel like she has always been dedicated to being a good mom to those girls and making sure shit. Teresa does it, period. That's it.
Teresa does it, period.
So, Real Housewives of New
So,
Jersey, ladies, kudos to you. Mm-hmm.
and talking about Real Housewives, let's talk about the Real Housewives of Dubai. They just came back. Them
Okay. I
girls.
could not be more excited to talk about Real Housewives of Dubai.
So let me
Anybody
start
else?
by saying Dubai to me is really just that franchise. Like they
Yes.
have the
The
people we
wealth.
like to see, they have the
Hmm.
wealth we want to see, they have the
They have the
businesses we
stature,
want to
they have the
see, they
fashion, they
have the
have the
stature, they have
money,
the
the cars, the
fashion,
clothes.
they live in a
There.
tropical area, and these are, for the most part, Black women
Black
out
women
there
having it their
having it
way.
their exact way. Their
And I
exact
love
way.
that a lot of these women, not all of them, or not a lot of them, two of them are American women who have took that risk and like went and made a better life for themselves
Lisa,
over there.
Caroline Brooks, they are American women. And even the other girls, it's like all of them except for I can think of one are
Caroline Brooks. What's the new one's name?
Talene is from American.
Talene.
So there's three of them. Caroline
Is
Brooks,
so
Lisa Milan.
Caroline Lisa is American or she's Caribbean?
They're Jamaican, but she's from Miami.
Oh,
They're from
okay. So
here,
she's
baby.
American, yeah.
They from
I
our
wasn't quite sure with that. Okay,
country,
so that's
yes.
interesting to know.
That's
Okay.
us. Again, once again.
On this hemisphere.
I say though, they respect our type of people out there in Dubai, and that's something I can fuck with.
Speaks volumes.
So Lisa and Chanel got together to play paddle.
Yes.
And when they got together, I've never heard of that first off. I had never heard of that.
Thought that was so interesting that they said that in America for the girls is tennis. For the girls in America is tennis, but I'm sorry, friend.
The girls in Dubai, they're heavy on that paddle, yes.
So we ended with paddling.
They do paddle in Dubai. Lisa said it's a good way for them to dress up like they're doing tennis. And I could kind of get it's similar to our tennis here.
It's very similar, yeah.
Dress up in the cute outfits, get active, and that's kind of it. So Lisa and Ayan met for paddle. Then they sat down, they were talking about being VVIP at Beyonce's concert.
Yes.
So for the Palm Royale Dubai, I think. Is that what it was? The Palm Royale Dubai.
The open of the Palm Royale.
Dubai. Yes. Then Beyonce, I guess, was there having a private concert. It was basically invite only.
Because I am a Beyonce fan. So you best believe I had my ears to the streets and I saw the snippets.
And we're gonna tell that story about Renaissance when we had to damn near knock some girl down. Goodbye.
Whoa. No, for real. I saw all the snippets from the Dubai show. So you know what? This type of banter I loved.
I love that fun shade. I love how Lisa and Ayan was like, we're in the VVIP. Like
we're in the VVIP. And then they pan over to the other girl. She said, I was so close to Beyonce. I could smell her conditioner. It gave Mean Girls, actually.
And then it was Caroline Stanbury. I was so close to Beyonce. I could feel the water.
I could feel the water splashing on me.
But I'm sorry. I'm going to give it to Lisa
and Ayan. You are with Jay-Z. Yep. You're with Tina. You're with Kendall Jenner. You're with all the who's who's. They won the spot for the tickets. But if you are a Beyonce fan, I'm going to take it up a notch and say, I want them seats where you can smell her conditioner. And call me weird if you want to. I need to be up there by that stage singing them songs.
And that's so funny because I want to be in the I don't care how far it is. I want to be in the section with Beyonce's mom and Jay-Z. And I do. I have to be. I can't be that close to her. I have to be close to our family. I need to be in the inner circle. So I probably would have been where... and I know you too. You are gonna get some better seats, and I know that for a fact. You're gonna grab some better seats.
The Renaissance, I did not play around.
You grabbed some great seats.
I was serious. I don't play when it comes to that little lady.
Guys, we're gonna tell this story in a story time another time, but it came down to the fact that
if I could have got even closer, friend, I would have got us even closer. I'm not playing. I wasn't gonna have it my way till we was on that floor, but yes.
What do you think about Chanel wanting to rekindle a friendship with Stanbury?
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. I don't mind people wanting to let go past beef, especially if you feel like it doesn't have any significance. But I feel like if you're willing to betray someone who you consider to be your best friend, I'm not sacrificing my morning phone calls and, my best friend to be friends with somebody who I really don't even relate to that much. So I feel like
never fucked with.
If you wanted to rekindle the friendship because you felt like maybe you just didn't want to have that bad blood out there, okay, but to sacrifice a friendship that is supposed to mean a lot to you, I think it's kind of weird. Like, I'm picking Lisa Milan over Caroline Stanbury any day, but that's just me.
What
you think, friend? Because I need to hear your thoughts on this.
I'm picking Lisa Milan. And I'm just going to say this for the record. Lisa Milan to me is the top, like her and Portia Gubadia to me are the top tierest of the Housewives. You cannot get any more famous. Not even famous, actually. Let's not even talk about clout. Let's talk
Because
about
now we
like the
talk
real
about no
logistics of it.
Instagram really living like this behind closed doors.
Like your real life. You can keep a husband, you can find a man, you can keep him.
And
You
not just
level
any
up
man.
every
This
time.
means getting up, going to work. He's supporting you. He's supporting your brand. He's taking care of your family. He's taking care
And
of
I'm
your
not to say
children.
Lisa
He's
Milan
doing
didn't have
it.
multiple kids with this man. All her kids are with this man. Lisa Milan to me is the quintessential housewife, and she is.
The soccer
Nobody else to
lessons
me is
while
doing
doing
it like
business
her.
on the sidelines. I have to give it to her. I respect it. I'm there.
Sorry,
I'm
she needs
there.
all her flowers. She is doing it like
She does.
Candy is also a quintessential housewife. But other than Candy,
Candy, Portia,
Portia,
Erica James.
Kyle
No.
was, Kyle was
Kyle is giving
put up
quintessential
by
housewife.
Mauricio.
I'm gonna put Nene in there. Nene was doing
Nene
it.
was
She
put up
had
by Greg
Greg.
always. They was
Like,
put up.
yeah.
Dolores to me is a quintessential housewife. She's
Dolores,
put up.
Teresa. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. That might be it.
I
But
think we hit them. Actually, we didn't hit on none of the Miami ladies. I feel like I could include all of them in that because them are some ladies who really do it
them
too.
girls, and they also
Nicole
have
was new.
husbands.
Nicole really came on and secured her rent. She did. She came with the lifestyle.
And that man has it. He has it. You
That's
can't make
fine.
that
If we're
type of
talking
money
about
up.
Real Housewives, let's talk about the Real Housewives. It takes a certain person to
Let's
do
talk
it and
about
be
the fact
it.
that Nicole and them bought that house for 13 million, sold it for 60.
All right.
That type of investment, we're talking about 50 M's.
Yeah, we're talking money that average people
On a
don't
house
have.
investment. Bought it for 13 M's, sold it for 60. Okay.
And you know, when we
Noted.
talk about this is another reason why I'm gonna add my opinion to advocate for the cancellation of Potomac or a makeover. None of those women, except
Did
for
anything.
Monique Samuels, have been able to show us these type of things. Wendy Osefa. I could
Wendy
never.
Osifo, yeah, she did
Yes,
that.
I
Yeah.
cannot leave Wendy out of this.
Monique and Wendy. And
Monique
then
and
I'm
Wendy.
sorry, I will actually give it
Karen
to what's her name?
Huger.
No. Moving every year. No. I'm sorry, Karen. Love
Actually,
you.
you're
No, you're not
right.
getting
No,
this.
we're talking about real
Sharice
money.
Jackson Jordan has real
Sharice
traceable
Jackson
money. Even when they went to Miami to meet with Peter, she told her, "Oh, her money is legit. Her money is legit. Her husband stayed down in that league for so many years, coached the league for so many years. She has it. She has it. Giselle and them, no. Robin and them are Section 8 to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's
you might as well call it the real girlfriends of Potomac.
If you ever see this, please hear our cries. These are you. This is coming
We're
from
begging you. We're
Bravo
speaking as the
holics.
fans.
We are telling you, you need to revamp Potomac, or you need to let it go. It's not giving.
And honestly, we're okay with you letting it go.
Ashley Darby fumbled the bag the biggest. If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. Ashley,
So let's talk about the
on?
fact, okay, and let's just state some facts for a second. You remember season 13 of Real Housewives of Atlanta? It was the girl, what was her name? Not Fallon, but the other friend of. She was very active. She was so active in it, season 13.
Season 13?
Very beautiful.
And it wasn't Tanya.
No, not Tanya. Tanya left halfway through, but there was the other one. So beautiful. What was her name? Latoya. Latoya.
Oh,
Latoya
the singer.
Forever.
The singer.
Latoya.
Was that maybe we can find a studio and lay some beats?
No, that was season 7, baby.
Oh, okay.
With Demetra. And Claudia. Them skinny straps. We remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? We was like in elementary school when they was doing that out in Puerto Rico.
Iconic. That's all I can say.
Iconic. But
That's
like
funny.
Latoya was a friend of for one season of Real Housewives of Potomac or for Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Tanya was a friend of for just a little bit. She has more followers than Ashley Darby.
I wanted to see more of Tanya. I feel
they
like
all have more followers than Ashley Darby. You fumbled, baby. You're damn near barely older than me.
And then it's the fact that if I was Ashley personally, I would tell Bravo, do not make my storyline me trying to figure out how I'm going to pay my rent without Michael Darby.
Make it about
That's
some business.
what we're not going to do.
Teaching a master class on how to be a bad bitch.
Quintessential housewives, you're absolutely right when you say Lisa Milan is one. It doesn't get like that is the Bravo Real Housewives.
Potomac doesn't have a quintessential housewife except for I would say Monique Samuels was a quintessential housewife.
Yeah, she's the LeBron James of Housewives. I'm gonna give it to her. And
She's
she spread
at
out the game.
Savannah. Period. That's she's it.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So next thing was Caroline Salon. I thought it was very beautiful. She sit on
I think
business
I
with
made
her
notes on that
ex.
too. Let me see.
She sit on business with her ex. She didn't used to let him cross the
The
front
glass
gate.
house is what they call that. I thought that was
Glass
nice.
house, yeah. So I think she did good with that.
I think
Yeah,
so
that's really
too.
all I had to say.
It goes again on just making sure you can get out of these guys what you're dating. I feel like I have to second that more with like dating in this world is like this woman was able to get her ex-husband to build a salon to put her and her son in a better situation. I think that she did amazing with that, and I thought it was nice. And it was a little shade because she didn't invite some of the other ladies to her grand opening, but she said she invited
The
the
bad
people that were
bitches.
most important to her, and
But
that's
yeah.
what she said. Shit.
And if she ain't close to Lisa Milan and Shania, she just not close
She
to
didn't
them.
want them there, and it is what it is.
Sarah talks about her past trauma. I thought this was a very like cleansing, healing scene.
Myself
It was just great.
personally, I've been really interested in learning more about spiritual healing because
Me
I'm a
too.
firm believer that we can hold a lot of traumas inside of our bodies and
Uh-huh.
not realize it inside of our hair.
It's
And
a like
there's a
energy, yeah.
lot that can be learned from this. So I think it's really brave of Sarah to show her because I'm thinking me personally, I would not want a camera crew in a room with me doing
Doing
that,
that.
showing this
Yeah,
to the
I
whole
agree.
world. So
That's
I
big of her.
think she was really brave for that. I thought also some of the trauma she opened up on is something that a lot of women could relate to. And I feel like being physically abused by men, that can cause people a lot of trauma. And also being cheated on, it makes you feel like you're not worthy enough.
Yeah,
And I was really proud of her for speaking on what happens behind closed doors in these marriages and relationships. It's not easy. And yeah,
literally.
kudos to you, Sarah. Heal, girl. Get that trauma out of you because I
Kudos
want
to
to do
you,
the
Sarah.
same.
You did
Yeah,
that.
and anytime somebody is an Aquarius, I always got to shout them out because that's my Aquarius sis. So
So
even though, girl,
Lisa
you know
and
you was wrong for not going to Beyonce. She tried to act like she was too good for
right.
Beyonce. Girl,
And
shut
that's
up.
how I feel
Did you
about
not get
Chanel. You
invited?
a Gemini, but I'm not gonna
She
stand
didn't get
behind you
invited.
100%, girl. Bye. No.
Lisa said them tickets couldn't be bought. You had to be invited.
Look, and
So
I'm gonna tell y'all, all y'all viewers right now, how Raven feel about Aquarius and having to stand behind them. Gemini's, no. I'm telling y'all
yes,
now, they be acting up,
you
and I'm
have to
not
stand behind
always standing behind
Chanel and
that.
all that crazy business.
I can't do that. I can stand behind her to a certain extent, but where I feel where she's coming from. Like I get that,
Yeah,
but no.
yeah, for sure.
Next one
So
is
switching gears from
Lisa.
Sarah.
Lisa invests in her kids' soccer slash family venture.
I thought that was so cute.
They
The
got
scene.
into Manchester City Academy and then paid for private
Super cool.
lessons. I
Yeah.
think that Lisa, again, I'm gonna take it back to it, quintessential housewife.
Yeah.
Like she is that girl, her husband is that dude. They're that couple together. And
I
that
think
I
there's
don't know what else to
nothing
say.
better than when a man is so invested in his kid's future. And
And she said
like
he's a
being
stagecoach
present.
dad.
And I feel
Yeah.
like real men understand how important it is to pour into your wife so they can pour into your kids and you can pour into both of them and they can pour into you.
Literally.
Like stop in America with the 50-50 conversations. I'm tired of
Let's
it,
just
y'all.
stop.
Let's just all work on being better and building families and trying to get some real wealth around here because Lisa's husband, he's got the formula and he's sticking
But you
to it and
know,
it's working for him.
on an America tease though, America actually leads the way in some parts because we have people like Natalie who plays that role of
The
the
father,
patriarch, not the
she's
matriarch.
doing it. You got to
And
stand
it
up and do it.
happens, and that's our culture. And I think that it's very important
There's
that we
no
do set a
limitations.
space for women to also lead if they
For
need
women
to.
who love to
You're
work and
not a
who are
man's
bosses
second
and
thing.
who do
You did
that.
not come from the bone of Adam. I do not believe that. I do not think that women.
You
And we
do
can get
not
on to
come
that
from the
to
bone
another
of
day,
Adam.
but like that's how I feel about that. I do not feel like
Frank, can
that
we take a
women.
shot to that? You do not come from the bone of Adam.
You didn't. And I
You
think that's
didn't.
another thing. I feel like sometimes that one book is used to try to oppress different peoples, black people, women. You didn't come. You did not, friend. You did not come from me. Like that does not even make sense to
No.
me.
But
It
we
doesn't. That
gonna
doesn't
cheers to
make sense.
that.
We
Cause
gonna use that because
cheers
that
to
does not
breaking
make no sense.
boundaries. And I'm American at the end of the day. So
So speaking of
one thing about
America,
Miss Natalie Nunn, she's taking them checks home.
Oh, and is.
But we're gonna get into Natalie real
Oh,
soon
we'll
because
get
I
into her a
actually
little
have
bit
a lot
later.
to
We
say
close
about
to it now.
Natalie.
So next
Okay, let
was
me see what mine can
Ayan and Stanberry talking about kids in America not being safe.
I really enjoyed that conversation because I'm glad. Well, I've
Time
spoken
somebody
to
talk
enough
about it.
people. Yes, and it's actually crazy to think that we grew up here and that this is
But we're
to
so
think that
rough.
people from other countries, like there's a hood everywhere. So I'm
But
very
it's not
aware
like
to that.
ours. I do
I'm very
not
aware to
think.
that. But when you get to America, there's a certain sense of I don't give a care about nothing.
And then, guys, full
Anything is for
disclosure,
grabs.
we are from Missouri. We lived in St. Louis. Like, this is like not even just saying like
Yeah.
from the hoods of America. This is kind of like we've
It's
been
like
like through the
regular
worst of the
everyday
worst.
stuff. This is like,
Like, and this is it. That's why I feel like, okay,
yeah,
they're talking about a taxi. I'll still get in a taxi, but I do
yeah.
understand why they would maybe not always want to put their daughters as somebody
And
in a
a
taxi.
part of too is just being aware of your surroundings. Like I was taught that for a very long time. Like stuff like don't pick money off the ground. There might be something in it and somebody will kidnap you, or don't argue with people at the red light because somebody will shoot you here. That's stuff that they say
Mm,
about guns and all
that's
that.
something,
When you
yeah.
come here,
We
believe
do
it.
have
They're
that here,
not
guys. I'm telling you.
exaggerating.
They
They're
talk
not
about the gun
exaggerating.
problem and how
Do
it's
not
bad in
argue
America.
with
It's
somebody at
bad.
McDonald's for no reason. Don't do it. Get your cheeseburger, get your sweet and sour sauce and your hot mustard and go because it's not that deep.
And it's like we're scrappy people, but like it's also like we're not gonna really do too much in this day and age because we do actually
Yeah.
live. We are
There's like a
very aware of the
disregard
world
for
we live in
life
now.
nowadays. So they're
And we used to
concerned for
talk about that.
sending
People
their
do not
kids
care
here.
anymore. They don't
They
care.
do not care.
This isn't just a simple fight in the drive-through
When
over
me
a
and
McDonald's
you were
cheeseburger anymore. This
young,
is
we
putting
were
somebody in
getting
the
out
grave.
like, and when I say when me and you were young, we're not talking about like 10 years,
We were
13,
talking like
14
five,
years ago.
7 years
We're
ago.
talking about
Yeah.
5, 7 years ago, and we're saying like we were fighting people. We were, hey, meet me at the
I thought
park.
2016 was
Where
8 years ago now.
nowadays I don't fight with people. I don't.
There's
You're
no
not gonna catch
point
me
to
fighting
it.
with
If you
nobody.
have
I'm
to,
not
you
gonna
have
die
to.
behind
But
it.
like, if you can avoid it, it's kind of like, okay, there's
Avoid
never going to
it.
be a, I'm going to meet up with this person at the park type of
No,
situation
I'm
anymore
not
because
doing
people
it.
don't meet up to do that anymore. They meet up to really send you to the
They
afterlife.
are for sure right about sending their kids to America and having a concern. However,
I
speak
agree.
to them before they get here. Let them
Let them
know.
know.
Let them know what it is. And I'm honestly going to say that the
Because
fear
it's
is
also the
only,
best of the
the
best at the
fear
same
is not
time.
one-sided. If my kids were about to go to another country, I will always be concerned about them because anytime you're going somewhere where you're not from there and you don't understand the flow of the culture, you always need to keep your head on a swivel. So
A swivel. And you have
it
to
is what
keep
it
your head
is.
on the
They'll grow
swivel where
up.
you
They'll be
live
fine.
too.
People come here all the time. They got money. They're gonna be in New York, not living like the average Americans. Tell them when they go to LA, watch their head though, because it's a lawless land. They will
And
rob
even in
them.
New York, watch your head because nowadays New York, when we went there, we know what New York is,
In
what
New
tea
York
they
too,
giving.
y'all be seeing all that NYPD, this and this is one of the most
We didn't
safest
see
cities in
them.
America, this and that.
We
I
did
didn't
not
see
see
a
them.
single
We
police
did not
officer.
see NYPD
I
once.
spent almost 40 minutes in a subway waiting for a train to come take me to the airport. Actually take me to another stop to get onto another train to go to the
go to the
airport.
airport.
And mind you, it was so hot. They don't talk about this in New York. That is
They
so
don't.
hot
The subways.
on the subways. Like I'm talking about 95 degrees hot. It was a lady down there screaming at the top of her lungs, cracked out. I was so scared.
That's
I was
America.
tired. I had all my bags with me. No NYPD in sight.
None. So that's
I
what we're saying.
survived,
Like
but that's what you
that
gonna
big
go through.
budget, no NYPD.
Big budget because they want to go buy some guns and some cars.
So next, what about Stanberry talking about the new girl Talene being drunk? How do you feel about that?
Friend, I feel like
Oh,
that
I have lots of
really
words for this.
irritated me because there have been multiple times when I've been out and I've been drunk and it's just like, why you clocking me? Are you having fun or what? Like,
Or you worried about me the whole time? Are you
and it's
enjoying
like we're here
yourself?
to see Beyonce. Get a drink in your hair. When me and you went to go to the Beyonce Renaissance tour, we were lit. We had pre-games. We were drinking on the way there. Like
Literally.
fun was being had. So I can never stand when somebody's trying to clock at me and like clock me and how I should be and how I'm acting.
And
Okay,
then,
I fell. What's tea? You know?
literally, and then being that we're from America, we live in America, we are American culture. I see nothing wrong with Celine. That is American culture. You go out, you have a good
That's
time.
American culture.
They're like trying to like clock her for this and that and that. She does not care. And I'm gonna say on behalf of us, she's not gonna care. She's not gonna
She's not
care.
gonna care. And I love when actually Caroline Brooks said, and I helped you up and greeted you with a drink. That's how we do
A
it.
new drink.
We're
And I'm like,
having
okay, them are
fun.
American girls. Them are
Them are
American
American
girls, because that's
girls.
the
We're
type
having
of time we be
fun.
on.
And actually, you know what? Caroline Stanberry, I watched a little bit of Ladies of London, and this is what I'm going to say about her is that she's very, and I mean, that was a long time ago.
She's
So if
rich.
your opinion on this has changed, Caroline, please make it clear because to this day, I'm still reading you the same. You are so worried about stature and what someone thinks of
And
you and
status.
royalty and London this and London that. And that's very important too.
And
I'm
you can
not
see it
gonna
translate
display
into
it.
Real Housewives of Dubai. She still cares about it. It's
You
not
still
like the
care
same
about it.
extent, but it's
When I'm
like
at
she still cares.
Beyonce, baby, and I'm telling you this ticket can't be bought, and I'm here to have fun, and I'm singing, I'm falling in love, and single ladies, and all of that. Yes, I might fall. I'm trying to do Beyonce's choreo. Mind your business. And then exaggerating, saying Sergio saw her kitty cat.
He didn't see
She
that.
said her, and I saw her outfit. I'm pretty
And I
sure
don't
she was
think
wearing
Sergio
pants.
likes that.
I'm gonna try and include that.
I don't
I do
think
not
Sergio
think
likes
that.
that.
And also, she was wearing pants.
I
And
don't think
whenever they
Sergio
showed
likes
a
that.
clip it on Bravo, I think she was wearing something sequin. I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna have to
I
verify
think
had this.
Sergio does not like them type of parts. I'm not. I'm gonna just stop it there. Um,
But you know, some
I
people they
like
be
that.
bit by that Cupid bug. They don't know what's
Yeah,
truth and what's.
yeah. And you young and she's 50. Okay, what's going on if she's 50 and you're 27? You're my age. I think that's not
And then
normal to
it
date someone
stressed
your
her.
mom's
Actually,
age.
Spence was speaking about that, and this just stressed her about having a baby.
He's literally 2 years older than me, and his girlfriend is 49. Like, that's
I'm
not
sorry. I
normal.
feel like when they got married last semester, last year, last season, or whatever, I feel like it would be really upsetting to me. And I can see that they foreshadow her saying that he's very selfish and he only thinks about himself. But I feel like when you got married to her last year, part of dating someone who's older than you is understanding that you guys are at different points in your life. Caroline
She don't want
has
no
5 kids.
kids no
How many
more.
kids does she have?
She has like three, I think.
Oh,
Two,
3?
three or two.
I don't know. So I won't throw a number out there, but it's just like she's
Three or
at a
two.
different point in her life. She's done that. Her kids are grown. She's went through that. And for you to kind of like put those pressures on her, like, of course, women, I feel like we always love harder or we want to do more to keep,
Mhm.
someone around. But that's a really heavy task, I feel like, for you to ask of someone?
I think so too.
I think
And then it's
so.
like, regardless of age, you knew who you were dating at that
You
age.
knew who
Like,
you were
don't get with
dating. You
that.
knew who she was. You knew what age she was. You knew how old her kids were. That's another thing too, is that when women start to raise kids, when you got somebody who just graduated college, you're not trying to start over from scratch. I just raised a whole child, like a whole human being.
Our daughter is damn near grown, so I'm just like,
Grown.
whatever.
Nobody wants to, and I don't know. I won't say nobody wants to, because
Oh,
sometimes things happen and it happens.
it
But
do. It do. And
mm,
then, okay, so the girl Talene used to be on tour with Jamie Foxx, opened up for Christina Aguilera.
yeah.
And basically Caroline Stanbury was hating on her. Sarah was deflecting. So what do you think about the last scene with Chanel Ayan and Sarah Almadani?
I'm gonna say first off before I make any comments because I don't want to come off as the wrong way. I think
Mm-hmm.
Chanel's situation is nothing to be mocked. I think
Mm-hmm.
that to be circumcised as a young girl is very hard to go through. One, they don't give them any real numbing medicine or anything of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a raw
Yeah,
procedure.
very
And
serious, yeah.
yeah, it's a very serious thing.
Oh, and that's just
However,
like sexual assault on another level too. It's just
it's
traumatic.
sexual
Yeah.
assault. When you think about it, I feel like there are
Mm.
certain parts on the human body that's like I never want to imagine going through anything. Like my eyes,
Torturing with
my
that, yeah.
elbows, my
Uh-huh.
it's very serious.
Very
So I
sensitive
think
parts.
Chanel's interpretation of what Sarah was saying or whatever it is that Sarah did to her being upset
Was
about it
she was
because it dealt
misinterpreted.
with something so sensitive. I understand where she was coming from. However, I think that Chanel
She
can
wanted
be
to go off
very
on Sarah.
theatrical.
She
Huh?
wanted to go off on Sarah.
I feel like
She
she
wanted to go
wanted
off
to
on
go off
Sarah.
on Sarah, and I feel like she can be very theatrical because I feel like Sarah's point was that you are so everything has to be about you. If it's not about you, you're not happy. And I
And
think
she
that
even
that's
said it is.
and she did. She was like, everything is about me. And it's like you weren't even being there on the point. Your point
I
should
was
have
like,
been that
okay, push
you
it out.
exposed me when I was vulnerable. Like you hurt me. You did this to me. It wasn't that. Her argument to her didn't give that. So
Mhm.
that's where I am with that beef. And I feel like I
It's
like
definitely like I
Chanel.
want all the attention. I don't want to have to be a good friend to nobody.
And to me,
I want to
Sarah
receive.
said
I don't
that
want to
there was
give.
2 points where Sarah kind of contradicted herself, where she was like, where Chanel was like, you said I was a victim. And she's like, no, I'm saying you want to be the center of attention and you do that, blah, 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 blah. And then there was another point where she doubled down and was like, you do act like a victim to be the center of attention. So I was like, well, you probably shouldn't have said that. But they were arguing at that point. I don't know, friend. I
Mm.
just feel like,
And you know how to be.
mm-hmm.
Sarah, to me,
For one, I feel like Sarah is one of those
okay,
people who tries
Sarah,
to be
Sarah,
too
to me, I do
cool.
like Sarah. I do like Sarah. I just don't know if she's all the like
This is what
100.
I'll
She's
say
like kind
about
of is another
Sarah.
person to me, like Jay
I
Lennon, that is fake spiritual. Like, I don't know.
or it
I
doesn't
don't
really
know
make
if that's
sense.
safe to
This
say,
is
but
my
it's
thing
giving me the same as
with
Jay
Sarah
Luna.
is that we're 2 seasons in now. I know about Caroline Brooks and her son, the whole
Uh-huh.
missionary, not missionary school, but the boarding school, and we know about Caroline Brooks. We know about Caroline Stanberry and Sergio and her children and all that. We know about
Mm.
Chanel. We know about Lisa. What do we know about Sarah other than she's a spiritual person? She
Nothing.
had these businesses. We don't know where the businesses are. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just
But
saying
where are they and
we've
where does the
seen
doctor come
into
from?
everyone's life, and we're season
Where's
2
the
in, and I
PhD?
still don't see anything about you. And it's
But I'm
you
like, where's the
know,
PhD or the MD or anything where her name is Dr. Sarah Almadani? I just don't still see
where's
that.
the businesses? Are you teaching? Are you professing? Or are you? We don't see
Like, if
it,
you're Dr. Sarah, you should be doing something. You should be a teacher. You should be a
but
professor.
we're
You should
doing
be
spiritual
working in a
healing and
clinic.
we're
You should be doing
yelling in the
something. How are you a
pillows and we're
doctor?
letting go of past traumas. And if that's your
I'm great
story,
with that.
it's your story.
I'm great with it all. I'm great with it.
But when it comes to like holding down the storyline, I don't see it. We don't really, I haven't gotten anything from
Those
Sarah.
are.
I feel like I want to know more about her though. I will say that. I want to know more about her. I want her to open up more. I want her to not also, too, I feel like if someone confronted me, and I have my own theories about their conversation and everything, but if someone was to confront me and say, hey, when I told you about my circumcision, this whole thing that happened to me, I feel like you went and made an article and you did this. My first thought, especially if I really cared about how sensitive something was to someone and I'm in a spirituality, I would be
Mhm.
like, I'm so sorry. Like, first off, that was never my intention. I don't feel like Sarah was really apologetic in the situation. I feel like she came with an argument prepared and ready.
But in the same breath, I do not feel like Chanel I was any bit apologetic either for
She
what she
wasn't.
did. So, in the same breath, it's like, okay, Sarah wasn't apologetic, but Chanel was definitely not apologetic either. I do not think that Chanel is really a good person either. I just
Yeah.
think that she's theatrical. She's not really
I
my
think
cup of tea
Chanel
either.
is very much into the drama. Like, she wants to make a
Into the
storyline
drama, the
so
big scene
bad
of it
that she's
all. Like,
willing
it's
to
just like,
just do whatever. It's like drama, 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 drama. Even
literally.
when she came to the beach and she was dressed in that outfit, now I'm a fashion designer, so I'm all for the fashion. You know what I'm saying?
She
But
does come in some gowns, though. I do love that. But why did you wear that to the beach? I guess because she wanted to. Like, I
but
don't
she
know.
wanted to.
But
But
like, why did she do that? We wouldn't do that. Like, I feel like there's just appropriate. Okay, I'm gonna go off right now. I feel like it's just appropriate, like
it's
places and things for
unfiltered.
everything. Like,
Hmm.
you don't need to be wearing a gown to the beach with a long ass train. It's the
No,
beach. It's the
it's the
beach.
beach.
We've all been to the beach in real life. We
She
know
said
how it
we're going
is.
to brunch on the beach. She said, Lisa, you didn't say it was actually going to be on the beach. Brunch on the beach.
It's gonna be on the beach at a
Brunch on
beach
the
club.
beach.
You live in Dubai.
You didn't look it up?
So, anywho,
Yeah.
moving on. Let's
Let
go
me
to
see if I made
Baddies.
any notes outside of that. We talked about Celine. We talked about the Chanel. We talked about the Sarah's spiritual healing. Caroline, Beyonce tickets. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I thought of. I made a note, and I don't know why I said this, but I said puppy love, Caroline and Sergio. I feel like there's going to be a point
It's like
when
young love. Yeah.
it's like young love. And I think Caroline is getting to that point where she's kind of leaving that honeymoon phase. And it's
Yeah.
like, what did I do? Like, I married someone. I feel like being
Yeah.
in a
We're going to see how that
relationship, I
goes.
can really relate to that because it's like sometimes you might get yourself into like something
Some
that's like,
shit, then when you
okay,
wake up, you like, hold on.
oh wait, did I really do that? You know?
Yeah, we going to see how they go.
So should we switch gears and get into some real juicy?
Let's talk about Baddies.
Let's talk about fucking baddies.
So the first thing I have down where these bees is fighting in the ocean. Tommie and Natalie was fighting, and the girl Heaven Marina was like, "These bitches is fighting in the ocean." Oh my god.
Heaven
I
Marino
do not like
reminds
her.
me of someone I know
I don't like
very,
her.
very well. And if
Don't like
I
her.
really
It's
wanted
a
to be
basic
unfiltered, I
light
would
skinned
mention her
girl,
name.
and
But
listen, it's just a basic
you
light
know,
skinned
light skinned
girl.
bitches ain't never had to work for shit.
A ratchet one at that. We didn't own two of them. And you know what's so funny? Earlier, I was about to tell you that Heaven and Meatball remind me of two specific people from my high school, but I decided not to text that to you. But if you think real hard, and who does Heaven and Deja remind you of?
You said it, friend. You know what?
So we're gonna
I
leave it
know
at that.
exactly who
We're gonna
you're
leave it at
talking
that
about.
because I already done said it. So keep that in there though, because I want that to be
I'm gonna keep it. I don't give no
keep
fuck.
that in there because you know who Heaven and Deja are,
Yeah.
and I think that Meatball that Heaven is definitely definitely think so. I think it's a ratchet light skin with a ratchet dark skin girl, and I'm
But you know what?
sorry.
Them girls ain't
I'll leave
never
it at
had
that.
nothing positive to say about me. I don't
Nothing.
care to defend their name or nothing. It
Do
is
you
what it
not
is.
think it's the
Heaven
same
Marina is
situation
that
though?
one, and the other
You
one is
look at
that one.
Deja, and it's like, okay, that's belly out and everything.
Like, what's going
So
on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? Let's clean it up a little bit.
my thing, that's my
I
thoughts on
want
that.
to talk about Baddies
Mariah
Ring
being
of
scary.
Fire. Natalie is one lady that you can expect to throw your ass under the bus. She came. Why would you bring them to a beach with a fire pit in the middle? I mean, I get it, bonfires, but you
But they
didn't
knew what
set
they was
this up to be
doing. It
no
wasn't a bonfire,
bonfire.
it's a
You
ring
set
of
this
death.
up to be like a battle to the death of us. I feel like that was in Greece, Athens, and whoever survived was good, and whoever didn't, you didn't.
Was not.
You wasn't.
And
And I also want to talk about Tommie writing it because they start well, I feel like some good context is that the Claremont twins had left on the last episode.
they're
They
gone.
decided that they did not respect their birthday wishes. This is some bull crap.
Fair enough though, yeah.
Fair enough. It's my birthday. Them are some rich girls. They're not dealing
Some
with
real life
y'all are sitting
baddies,
around the beach
yeah.
fighting.
And
Somebody
we're gonna
punched
talk
me in the
about the
lip and
fact
I
that
got lace
they're
filler.
the
I mean
reason
lip
that
filler.
oxygen just got shut down from the get-go. Like, let's be
They're
real.
the
The
reason.
Claremont twins and
Zeus
Jayla
took
are
a
the
big
reason that
chance
oxygen got
bringing them on
shut
there.
down.
And
You
you know
cannot play
what?
with
Zeus
them.
is big enough now that I know they got people who do research on that. Signing them
Mhm.
on to that deal was a very big deal because that could be the end of
I think
you.
that's why they put them on that private jet with Natalie and them.
Logistics,
They knew
quality
better than
control,
to play with
human
them.
resources, they
Mhm.
looked into that.
And still dropped the ball. They said it's our birthday. We asked for a candle. Y'all bitches ain't bring a candle.
Y'all think I want to sit at people and stare at people fighting on the beach? This is my
In
birthday.
Barbados.
I could have had somebody fly me out to
So
Anguilla.
I said Mariah is scary. She defends Tasiki but don't defend her friends.
Oh my God. You know what? And I've defended Mariah Lynn a lot. Mariah, if you're watching
You
this, I want you
did.
to
You
know.
fight. You
Mariah
fucked
Lynn,
with
I
Mariah. She was
have
cool.
defended you. I've always said Mariah Lynn was
You
cute.
did.
Mariah Lynn has the
You
outfits.
did. You said
Mariah Lynn
outfits. You
has
said
this.
she's cool.
But I
You know
don't
me. I
think
was
Mariah
never
Lynn
really
knows that when you speak and you giving those
mm-mm.
confessionals, it comes off as corny. because you're not having your friends
My
back.
thing is just fight with Bianca
came,
like you fight with Tasiki.
it would have been so much harder on Bianca's half if Mariah Lynn would have had her back when she came in there swinging.
Literally.
Bianca swinging on Sapphire, and it would have been so lit. Mariah would have just came up and punched her too. Like, that's
Knocked
your
her.
bestie. Sapphire thought y'all was cool.
Exactly.
No,
She
bitch,
jumped-
I'm not cool with you.
jumped
I'm cool
out.
with
Yeah.
him. I'm cool with her. I'm not cool with you. Like,
too
yeah, you don't
much.
got your best friends back, period.
And then the next
Okay.
thing I said was, what about when Tasiki gets upset?
Also, when Tasiki gets upset, I want them to have an extra crew on standby. I never want Tasiki to put her hands on me, period. I don't care
Never.
what's going on. You do not get the opportunity to put your god dang on hands on me. You know what I'm
Never.
saying? There was another thing that I
Why?
want to talk about when Tasiki gets into a fight. Mute your camera, friend.
Hold on.
There was another thing I wanted to talk about though, whenever Tasiki and Mariah, that whole fight, after they fight on the beach to the end of time, whatever Mariah Lynn calls that, I want to talk about how Mariah Lynn jumps into Tasiki's fight. Tasiki, if I was her personally, I would be very irritated if I started getting mad, because she started getting mad at a girl randomly. I don't even remember the girl's name, but she felt like the girl shouldn't have been standing in the section with her boyfriend. Okay, and when it comes to your man and you feel like somebody shouldn't be up there, she said she shouldn't be up there. And so she wanted to fight the girl, and Mariah Lynn took it upon herself to fight her for her. And I feel like that would irritate me. If I'm getting irritated and I want to punch somebody, don't jump in my fight. That was for me. Don't do that. Like, what was that about?
My thing is, I feel like Tasiki wanted to eat the girl up herself.
She wanted to eat the girl up herself.
She didn't need your help.
She didn't need your help. She just didn't.
I just thought that was so weak. I'm looking at Mariah Lynn. That's another one flaw. That was so weak.
I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, friend. I just can't. I just can't do it because I feel like that was not your battle to fight. It
wasn't her battle to fight. It just wasn't. So yeah,
what
it
you
wasn't her
think
battle.
about next? I think after that, I want to talk about how Tommie and Natalie have this feud that they can't let die. I also feel like Tommie beat up Natalie. People don't want to say it. She beat up Natalie. It is what it is.
So
one round Natalie got with Tommie. 1 round.
The round where she was uppercutting her, I'm not gonna lie, she actually did have her in a headlock and was kind of getting her. The other 2 rounds, Tommie whipped her.
1 round.
Tommie whipped her. Tommie flipped her on that. Tommie flipped her on that beach like bow. Like
what? Security or not? Natalie got beat up.
Natalie got her ass whooped.
I want to see. Oh, I want to talk about. I'm actually mad at myself for not bringing this up sooner. I'm very irritated with Gretchen, and I'm actually don't have nothing to say to Gretchen. I have something to say to Zeus. Send Gretchen home. You guys are a black network for the culture, by the culture, and you continue to let this woman to come on there and say the N-word. Stop. She doesn't need a platform. We don't need to hear what she has to say. I'm done.
It's not cute. It's not funny.
Jayla,
everybody
don't put your hands on her no more.
Everybody from Scotty to Jayla to Natalie to Meatball then told her you cannot say this.
Stop saying it. She even had a private conversation with Tommie, and there's always gonna be a pick-me person because even when she was talking to Tommie, she called her my. You should have punched her. You want to fight Natalie? You want to fight your kids? You want to fight people? Punch her. She's calling you the N-word. And I personally can stand on that because in our personal lives, when we're talking on the phone, I just don't call people the N-word. Do I call you all day?
No, we don't say that.
Why?
Like the only time we've ever said that is if we're referring to somebody, like maybe we're dating. Like on a very serious note too. Like it has to be very serious to start saying that. Like that's not something in nobody's vocabulary like that. And that's what she needs to stop is because you think you can say that all the time. We don't need to be saying that. This is not that deep.
Fast forwarding to when they split up now into individual groups, and they're going on the walks and they're talking. And wait, where was I? Oh, they split up. They all go on to their individual walks, and it's the Hispanic girl, a replacement,
like Lynn Dolly
who
and
says
them.
she's
Yeah.
Dominican, Audrey, and a
Yep.
few other people. And they're like, well, she's like, the girl, the replacement, who's Dominican and Black, is trying to defend Gretchen for
Lynn
saying
Dolly,
the
yep.
N-word. And Aubrey is making it her point to be like, no, like these women have came to her and said they're uncomfortable when she says it. Stop saying it. She's like, well, I'm Dominican and I'm Black and I can say this and say that. Well, the girl, when they asked her if she was Black and Puerto Rican, she said, no, I'm Puerto Rican. That you don't need to say it no more. You said you're not Black,
because
you're Puerto
Jocelyn
Rican.
said, I'm Black. You see these snaps in the back of my head? Like, Jocelyn, like,
Jocelyn
made it
is a Black Puerto Rican. That girl who was trying to defend her was a Black Dominican. I get it. You're around Hispanic people because Dominicans can be all kinds of colors. And after I learned
Dominicans
a
can be
little bit
like
of
us,
history,
they can, but
and after I learned a little bit about the Dominic, like, what do they call that? The Dominican Republic, or
mhm.
after I did a little more research on them, and I found out that they had a dictator there who was very colorist, which is not really surprising in anybody's history books because we have the same thing here. But just to find out that they had a ruler who was he made it his business, his point to whitewash everybody who lived there. Like he did not want people to be Black. So I just felt like her saying, like, trying to give her the pass to say the N-word was like, you really should stand on it too. Like it's disrespectful even to you.
Too much.
That's too much.
Too much. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else I have to really converse on.
I mean, I think we touched all our bases. I think to end out, it would be great to just speak on a few things.
Fashions.
We're gonna talk about our favorite things that stood our attention, and most of them are fashion related when it comes to ending this segment.
Yes, this is our fashion
we wanted to highlight, a few of the baddest and some of the fashion statements that we thought really hit. Darius wanted to start it off by talking about Caroline Stanberry's Bulgari Sierpinski watch.
Oh, that Sierpinski watch from Bulgari. Let's just talk about it, guys.
It's amazing.
It wraps around the wrist like a snake.
I'm going to insert a picture so we can see what it is.
It's next level. The Bulgari Sierpinski.
Yeah, it's next level fashion. We're talking about pieces to have in your closet that people don't have. That would be a dream to have, right? So
Bulgari Sierpinski, yeah.
I think it's worth shouting out. We're also going to talk about the beach scene on Real Housewives of Dubai. We thought for the outfit winner, it went to Lisa Milan. The two-piece Versace outfit was spectacular. It was right on the visor. You did it. It was cute.
Lisa Milan, you are a quintessential housewife.
Also, Real Housewives of New Jersey. We wanted to spot out or give a spotlight to Dolores with the Bottega Veneta chunky earrings during the brunch.
You did it.
Yes, you did it with that. We love that.
Dolores, you did it.
And this is separate from everything, but I thought it's very important because we're always listening to rap, hip hop, the culture, female rap. Megan Thee Stallion, the Hot Girl Tour is lit. We want to be a part of it. You need to come to St. Louis. We're pissed off that you didn't come, but it's amazing to see the girls backstage, dance battling, doing it all. Can you pick between Flo Millie, Lotto, Meg, Glorilla? What you got? Get them love.
I know in that dance competition, Lotto put them Manila Vanilla cheeks on.
Them vanilla cheeks.
She put them on, Glorilla. I'm not gonna lie, Lotto is thick.
Lotto is thick than a motherfucker.
They're both equally as fun and equally as lit. Like them are really my like picks. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this was our first. Okay,
so we did that
season, and we're really excited. Like, this is what we do. We really are letting you in on the glimpse of our world, and we're not trying to make it too perfect or too not, but we're here. This is our first episode. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a comment, please like, please share with a friend, and You can expect us to upload every Wednesday evening or night, and we love you for tuning in. And you got any closing questions, friend, or comments?
No, just thank you guys so much for supporting. Like anything you guys want us to cover, just put in the comments. Like everything you want us to do, let us know. We'll
Yeah.
be on that.
Yep.
Period.
All right, we out. Episode
All right.
1 done. Thank you for tuning in to
It's a
R&B
wrap.
Unfiltered, DNR Unfiltered.
DNR unfiltered
Bye.
period.